What was the largest difference between your cruise 20 years ago compared to the one you had 2 years ago?
The first difference was the size of ship itself. The first one was about 2,500 people altogether. The last one was about 5,000, I remember that. And lots of different scheduled attraction, and especially musical events at night, and lots of trophy dancing and everything, which the first cruise was not that way. Of course, civilization on the cities we've been visiting was much better than before. Also, the restaurant was larger, much cleaner. Therefore, we enjoyed the last cruise definitely more than the first one.
These images of modern-day cruises are the result of the cruising revolution in the 1970s. Evidently, cruise ships have grown significantly from their humble beginnings of merely transatlantic voyages. Size, destinations, amenities, and income have all significantly improved from the beginning of cruises. Nowadays, cruise ships can provide an average of 3,000 passengers with basketball, mini golf, pools, water parks, ziplining, surfing, and most infamously, eating your heart out. This revolution led to a completely new way to travel and simultaneously provided the tourism industry a new way to make income and boost the economy. In fact, the cruise industry accounted for $17 billion in direct expenses to U.S. goods and services. What led to this travel revolution? Before the 1960s, cruising was all about transatlantic voyages, going from usually London to New York.
The promise of a new life in America, while the rich and famous crossed the Atlantic.
Once the 747 came into service in the late 1960s, using cruises as the way to cross oceans was no longer the primary way, so cruise lines had to expand to new destinations. Royal Caribbean was the first major player in the industry, introducing 3 new ships from 1970 to 1972. These ships operated out of Miami and were based in the Caribbean, a destination that was extremely appealing to customers. The Song of Norway, Sun Viking, and Nordic Prince all set the stage for new cruise lines to enhance their own ships' amenities and destinations. The next cruise line to significantly revolutionize themselves was Holland America Line. Holland America Line up to 1971 was operating out of Rotterdam and New York, and expanded to new destinations such as the Mediterranean and the Caribbean. 1 year later, Carnival Cruise Line was formed, with the Mardi Gras as the cruise line's sole ship. She was the pinnacle of cruises in the 1970s and kick-started Carnival's success to become the world's most popular cruise line. In 1976, the cruise industry received help from an unlikely source.
Life's sweetest reward, let it flow. It floats back to you. The love boat. Soon we'll be making another run.
It was a very funny show. And certainly it raised awareness of how fun it is to go on a cruise.
All the celebrities went on it.
Yeah,
So
all the cool kids went on it.
Must do.
Yeah. Julie was the cruise director. And she was fun.
Oh, she was. She was fun.
And then, what was the bartender's name? Isaac?
Oh, yes.
Remember Isaac?
Yes.
And then the
They
first
were all
person.
so happy.
They're always happy. Something fun always happened.
Uh-huh.
More tourists aspiring to cruise meant that the cruise companies needed to expand yet again. During this decade, the 3 largest cruise companies had been formed, with brand new cruise ships and brand new itineraries. The cruise industry now was extremely popular and growing fast. After the introduction of new and improved ships in the 1970s, the 1980s took the industry to a whole new level with the mega cruise ship. At 46,000 tons, 730 feet long, with the ability to hold 1,500 passengers, the Carnival holiday started the mega cruise ship era. The Seabourn Pride revolutionized luxury cruising, with every expansive room being an ocean view room. The Sovereign of the Seas truly deserves the title as the first floating resort. She boasts 2 pools, a multi-story atrium, multiple dining options, and even a rock climbing wall for thousands of guests to enjoy. With those 3 cruise ships, the cruise industry became one of the more prominent in tourism. In fact, cruising is the fastest growing form of travel now, with a 900% growth in passengers in the last 20 years, and in general, 2,100% growth since 1970. Cruise lines now are expanding to destinations like the Mediterranean, Mexico, the Caribbean, Alaska, and more. So as a result, the ports of calls in these areas needed to renovate themselves and create new jobs in order to be able to handle these new mega cruise ships. Tourism was thriving. This new, innovative way to splurge had created more than 40 new ships in the 1980s, resulting in pure ecstasy from the cruise companies. Not only did this revolution affect the cruise lines, but it also affected the ports of call around the world. Jobs not only on the ships, but also at port were created. We're talking thousands of jobs. In 2009, cruising generated over 314,000 jobs in America, and was a $35.1 billion beneficiary on the U.S. economy in 2009. Cruise ships are en route to earning over $2 trillion of general income a year by 2020. Since 1980, the cruise industry has experienced an average of a 7.4% growth in passengers per year. 14.3 million tourists cruised last year, with the average spent on a cruise being over $1,800. Cruise-related expenditures created 56,000 new jobs throughout just the Caribbean. These jobs paid $720 million in wage income to the native residents. $2.2 billion in direct expenses were made by passengers and crew at destinations in the 2008-09 cruise season. Passengers spent on average near $100 at port, and crew over $90, which results in over $285,000 in expenditures during a single port visit.
Thanks to media, friends of media, and thanks to cruise passengers, land-based vacationers, we're making it. We're making it happen. Big companies like Apple Vacation, TUI, Pullman Tour are bringing still their clients here, and Costa Maya, Riviera Maya, and Cancun area are one of the examples of that.
Cruising was turned upside down for the greater good in the 1970s, with the addition of dozens of new cruise lines, ships, and ports. As you have seen in this documentary, this revolution grew to become one of the most popular forms of traveling today, while also being one of the most economically efficient ways to boost the economy. I'd like to thank Parsa Rohani, Melissa Rohani, Lisa Ward, and Mehdi Rohani for helping me make this video. Hope you enjoyed it. and happy sailings.